Good morning, students. I hope everyone is fine and all of you are in your good health. So, in the continuation with the previous topic, today we will be reading more about nervous system. We were doing chapter number 7 of our biology section, and chapter name is control and coordination. In the previous lecture, we have read about types of neurons. I would like to revise once again since I think it was a not difficult actually, but a little bit confusion creating topic for you. So here I want to discuss it again briefly. That is, neurons are of three types. That is sensory neurons, motor neurons, and relay neurons. Sorry. So these neurons are the nerve cells which are present in our spinal cord and in the brains, which carries signals or which carries the nerve impulse or electrical signals. So these are of three types. Sensory neurons are those neurons which transmit impulse from the sensory cells. So these are the neurons which carry the message of our sense, which is recorded by the sense organs or by the receptors. So if you remember, there were five types of receptor that were: photoreceptor, which detects light; phonoreceptors, which detect sound; olfactory receptors, which detect smell; gustatory receptors, which detects taste; and thermoreceptors, which detects heat, cold, or any change or touch or any change in the temperature. So when our skin or when our body or our ears or anything from the receptors sense anything, so these sensory neurons transmit the nerve impulse or transmit the message through these sensory neurons to the brain or to the spinal cord, because our brain takes action, but sometimes our spine also takes action without informing brain. I will explain you in this lecture how. Then motor neurons. So these motor neurons transmit the impulse from the CNS or the central nervous system. Like, if I'll explain you in the easy word, when we feel anything on our body, like someone rubs ice on your hand, and or someone put a very hot cup of tea on your hand, you suddenly resist your hand or move your hand from there, because your skin acts as a thermoreceptor and they send the message through the sensory neurons to your brain or to your spinal cord. Then your spinal cord gives message, and the message is sent in the form of impulse, and these motor neurons will carry that impulse from the brain or from the spinal cord, and they will bring to the muscles or effectors, because in the muscles there are cells which are called as effectors, because the message is transported from the motor neurons to this. So these muscles will act to the stimulus, and they will brain will instruct us to move our hand from the, and then we will move our hand from that place. So this is how it works. And then these relay neurons are in the central nervous system, which act as a link, because relay is the term which is commonly used when we join something together. Like example, in a relay race, you give a thing which is in your hand to the other partner and then it moves on. So same here, it's in the relay, like this neuron will transmit the message to this neuron and this neuron will transmit the message to the next neuron, and it happens. So this is a relay chain. So these relay chain they occur in the central nervous system or in on a brain or a spinal cord, and they serve as a link between the other neurons. So this was the topic which we discussed. So today we will be learning more about nervous system. That nervous systems is of two types, that is central nervous system and peripheral nervous system. So central nervous system is the main nervous system which is controlled by the brain, because brain is a main controlling unit of our body. So it consists of brain and spinal cord, and it also controls this peripheral nervous system. So center is in the center, like brain and the spinal cord. Our spinal cord is inside our vertebral column, so this is controlled by our CNS, central nervous system. And then the peripheral nervous system, which is in the side by side to that, like it is there. It is a very important part, but it is attached to the spinal cord, and spinal cord will give all the instructions, because it will get the instructions from the brain, and then spinal cord, all the nerves will be joined to the spinal cord. So that is called as the peripheral nervous system. Like periphery is the English word which means the edges or the side region. So in the center it's central nervous system, and in the side it's peripheral nervous system. So it consists of the all the nerves from the body, like cranial nerves, spinal nerves, and visceral nerves. Now these nerves, the main organs of our nervous systems are brain, spinal cord, and nerves. So the sense organs like eyes, ears, tongue, nose, and skin. So excuse me. So there are also the sense organs, and the brain and spinal cord connects all the sense organs, and then they are connected to the millions of nerves or neurons. So these nerves carry messages from the body parts to the brain, and they are called as sensory nerves. So the nerves which carries the messages from the body part to the brain are sensory nerves, and the nerves which carry the messages from the body parts to the brain are called as sensory nerves, and the nerves which carry message from the brain to the body part for the action is called as motor nerves. Like whenever our body sends any message to brain, that is carried by the sensory nerves, and when the brain will message to our body, that message is carried by the motor nerve. Simple. When you feel something in your hand, from your hand the message goes to your brain, that is by the sensory nerves. Okay, and when your brain tells your body to remove your hand from there, the message is sent from the brain through the motor nerves or through the motor neurons. Okay, so cranial nerves are those nerves which connects all part of our head directly to the brain, because in our head there are many organs which are controlled by our brain. Like we blink our eyes, we move our mouth, we open our mouth to eat, we having nose, we smile, we use our facial bones. So all that things which are in our head are controlled by cranial nerves, and rest of our body's movement is controlled by spinal nerves. Like if we move our hand, so the movement of our hand, our legs, our body, flexibility and all, it is controlled by our spinal nerves. So these are the nerves, cranial nerves and spinal nerve, which I was talking about. So coming back to the topic, it is the peripheral nerves and this visceral nerve. Now visceral nerves are actually those nerves which are connected with the spine or sometimes with the brain, but they are attached to the organs. Okay, so they are connected to the internal organs of our body. So because here we have to talk about only about the reflex arcs, so we don't have to read about these visceral nerves, but they are present in there, because peripheral nervous system has three types of nerves, that is cranial nerves, spinal nerves and visceral nerves. So this is again of two types, that is voluntary nervous system and autonomic nervous system. Now voluntary means which is under the control from the brain, like brain will control it. If you want to see time, so you look at the watch and then you wait for a moment, and then you message whatever you are seeing from the eyes, because eyes are connected to the brain directly. So eyes will send a message to the brain, and then brain will take action, and then you will get to know it's 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock. So that is done by the brain. So that is a voluntary nervous system which is under the control of our brain only. And the other is autonomic nervous system. That means in this it is done automatically, like just automatically. So brain is also not involved sometime in this. The spine just take the action quickly and automatically. So that is involuntary. So brain is sometimes involved or sometimes it's not involved. Like if suddenly you are a big sister of or a brother of your little brother, and then you are playing outside somewhere, and sometimes your younger one falls down and get hurt. So that time you will not go home and you will not call your mommy, you will just take the action by your own. So like here your spine is behaving like as you, and the brain is your mother. So sometimes there has to be taken a quick action, so you will just take the action and then you will tell your mother. So in this also the spine takes the action and then the message is conveyed to the brain, but after the work has been done. Like if you're standing in front of any fire and suddenly your hand catches fire, so quickly within a just lesser part of a second, you just remove your hand, because as soon as your skin receptors, thermoreceptor, feel that heat, the message will be traveled to your spine. It will take time to reach to the brain, so it will just, spine will take the action, okay, remove the hand from there. So you will just remove your hand, and then it will go to your brain, and then you will feel okay, you will feel scared and all. So that emotions are created by the brain. So that is the autonomic nervous system. So we will read about this peripheral nervous system in this. So all that nerves of the body together make up the peripheral nervous system. Now the main topic of the chapter is reflex action and reflex arc. Okay, since I have given you an example of a heat, so I will be doing that again, excuse me, whenever we touch any hot object, we just remove our hand from that hot object. So the hot object act as a stimulus, and we respond to the stimulus is that we remove our hand. So the simplest form of response in the nervous system, when our nervous system just simply give response to any stimuli or any stimulus. Now stimulus, if you remember, is a change in the environment. So when our body, or the simplest response is formed by our nervous system, that is called as a reflex action, and that action is done by a pathway or a route, like message is transferred to our brain from our receptors, and then brain will tell the message to the our effectors, and then it will go to the muscles. So this pathway is called as a reflex arc. So action and arc are two different things. The simplest form of response in the nervous system is reflex action, and a reflex action is performed automatically and is an involuntary action. So brain is also not involved sometimes. Our body or our spinal cord is capable to take all the decisions, because they has to be taken quickly, because it will take time, because in the neuron, although it is like chemical impulse, but it will do take some time. So it is done within the half part of the second. So quickly the action has to be taken. So spine comes in the rescue, and it takes the action. A reflex action is an automatic response to the stimulus. So this is the reflex action. So you have to learn the definition, and it is one of the important topic. So next is a reflex arc, that is the pathway or route taken by the nerve impulses in a reflex action. So I will be explaining you with the help of this diagram, which is given in your book. Like here, the hand is touching the object which is very hot. So the receptors, so in our hand there will be thermoreceptors which are in the skin, which detects any change in the atmosphere like heat or cold or touch. So this receptor will take the heat, will sense the heat and the pain, and the receptor will be the skin. So the message will go from the sensory neurons. The sensory neurons will take the electrical impulse, and they will give the message to your spinal cord. Since the brain is very far away, so the message is transferred to the spinal cord, and the spinal cord is also a part of a CNS, that is central nervous system, and the spinal cord will just give the message with the help of motor neuron. So here is a relay neuron. Relay neuron is a chain of the neurons which transfer which passes the message to this, and then the message will move with the help of motor neurons, and it will go to the effectors. Effectors are the muscle in the arms, so they will take the action, and your hand will be moved from this place. So this is the diagram. So if I'll tell you with the help of a simple diagram, that is this, here it is very simple to understand. That is, if the stimulus is heat, so heat is sensed by our skin, so it will be thermoreceptor of our skin. So the heat detectors in skin of hand, our hand will detect the heat, and the thermoreceptor will give the message, and the message will be transferred to the spinal cord by the sensory neurons, and then from the spinal cord will send the message to the muscles or to the effectors. So the motor neurons, the message will be traveled in the motor neurons, and they will reach to the effectors, that is muscle cells. So the muscles will take the action, and the action will be taken as the response, that is we will lift our hand. So this is a simple explanation of reflex action, and that action is done by this passage or by this track. So the pathway taken by the nerve impulse in a reflex action is called as reflex arc. So the action taken is called as reflex action, and the action taken by the root is called as reflex arc. So in simple words, when you feel any stimuli, you will have receptors in your body. If it is a very example, if you're having a very high lights on your eyes, so again you will blink your eyes for a while. It is done very quickly. So the same thing is that if you have your hand on a very hot object, so you will receive the pain, and that message will be just passed through the sensory neurons to a spinal cord. It also goes to the brain, but it is so quick that brain is not also involved in this. So only the spinal cord takes a decision. It will send the message to the motor neurons, and the motor neurons will carry the message to the effectors, it is muscles, and the muscle arm will respond by lifting your hand. So this is how it is done. It is a reflex arc. So again I will explain you this when the the other organs are involved, like whenever we take because this is done by the spinal cord. Okay, so sometimes brain is also involved, because it is not always that only spinal cord will take the action, brain also does all these things. So when it is done with the our head region, like say CNS, central nervous system, so there will be again stimulus will be the bright light, that is photoreceptor will take this. So receptor as eye, and then it will pass the message with the help of sensory nerves and to the brain, and then brain will send the message in the motor nerves to the effectors, and effectors will be the eyes. So in the eyes there are muscles, that iris are the muscles which control the size of our pupil. So it will be a message passed from our brain with the help of motor nerves. So the message will be like that, okay, there is a bright light, so just reduce the size of the pupil. So these iris will allow the pupil to shrink. So this is a response. So this is a was about the reflex arc. I hope it's clear. So the next topic is about the muscle cells. Since I'm telling again and again about the effectors, and I've told you in the beginning also, the part of the body which can respond to any stimulus according to the instructions which are sent from our nervous system is called as effector, and especially these acts on the muscles. So how these muscles take action, or in your book it's a topic that how does the nervous tissue causes action. It is the topic number 7.14, which I'll show you here in your book also, this topic. So since we are dealing with this, so I'll explain you here only. So in this, if I'll show you the diagram, since you are seeing here in the book that whenever we feel any hot or any change, or we feel any pain, so we quickly remove our hand. So while we remove our hand, that action, when we quickly remove our hand from any hot object or any cold object, or whenever we feel, or whenever we walking on the road and a dog barks, so suddenly we just stand up back. Okay, we take our steps back. It's just a common posture or gesture which we do. So that all the things are done by the reflex action. So we just do it quickly, and the track or the pathway by which the message is sent to the brain or the spinal cord, and then the spinal cord sends a message to our body, and the action is taken by the effectors, and then the other things. So that is called as reflex arc. So if we will learn that in the context of our muscles, that how do the effectors causes the movement, like, okay, again I'll tell you that the message, our skin will act as receptor. Skin will send the message to the spine or to the brain, that the spine or the brain will send the message to the motor neurons, to our effectors. Now how will the effectors bring the action? So that action is brought as our muscles are made up of muscle cells. Okay, so in the hand we are having muscle cells. So muscle cells also contains a special protein which changes their arrangement, that is, which changes their shape and contraction and relaxation, because there is a stimulation and it causes an electric impulse. So that is very quick, and and it causes the muscle cells to contract, and when they contract they become short. For example, whenever we feel any hot object on our hand, so quickly the electric impulse is sent to our spinal cord, and then spinal cord will stimulate the biceps of our hand, because on our hand we have biceps and triceps. I hope you remember, we have read in class 9. So they will stimulate the biceps muscles of the upper arm, and they will make the biceps to contract, and when there will be contraction, it will pull a bone of our lower arm. So our arm will be just moved, and we will just lift our hand away from the hot plate. So all this contraction of muscles is just a quick action which is taken by the electrical impulse. An electrical impulse is caused by the neurons. So that is a reversible process. Again, we can move our hand forward and backward. So this is done by the neurons. Okay, so this is also done. So next we will be moving to our central nervous system, because we have read about peripheral nervous system. So now we'll deal with the central nervous system, which is controlled by our brain and spinal cord. Since the brain is the main part of our body, it is the head of our body, main controlling unit of our body. It is also the highest coordinating center in the body, and it is located in the skull of our body. We all have skeleton, and above that we have a skull. So in the skull, it is protected in a bony box which is called as cranium. Okay, just remember the word cranium is the bone in which our head, skull, or our brain is kept, or it is for safety test. So brain is surrounded by 3 membranes. There are 3 membranes which are surrounding our brain, and those are called as meninges. Okay, so those layers, there are 3 different layers of meninges, and these meninges they have some space which is filled with a cerebrospinal fluid. All these 3 meninges have the cerebrospinal fluid in them, which protects from the shocks or from the mechanical shocks. So brain is divided into 3 parts. Here I will show you the diagram of brain. Okay, so this is a diagram of brain. Brain is divided into 3 parts. It is forebrain, midbrain, and hindbrain. So I will explain you here. Okay, so this is a diagram of brain. You have to practice this. So the front part, forehead part of our brain, like when you touch our forehead, just behind that it's our forebrain. Fore means front. So the front portion of our brain, since the brain is very big, but the main part or the main thinking part is only this much. Okay, so forebrain, midbrain, and the hindbrain. You can see here, this is the midbrain and this is the hindbrain. Okay, and this is the skull, the outer bone, which is called a bone box. It's called cranium. Okay, so forebrain can also be called as cerebrum, 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 and all the thinking, all the actions are done by this cerebrum. All the feelings, all the emotions, everything is done by this cerebrum. And this midbrain also does some functions. Go to the sun, our eyes will contract. So this is a reflex action. So that reflex action is controlled by our midbrain. And then the hindbrain. In the hindbrain, we have 3 different things, that is pons and the cerebellum and medulla. Now cerebellum, just in the back of your head and above your neck or spinal cord, there is a soft part which is called as the hindbrain, which consists of 3 main parts are called as pons, medulla, and cerebellum. So these things have different functions. Like pons helps in the regulation of respiration, and medulla helps in the controlling the voluntary actions such as our heartbeat, breathing, our blood pressure, the peristaltic movement of alimentary canal, which is not in our control, and the cerebellum. Okay, don't get confused with cerebrum and cerebellum. There is a difference in spelling. Cerebellum is in the hind part, and cerebrum is the forebrain. So cerebellum helps in the this maintaining the balance of our body. It helps to balance us to it helps us to stand straight. Okay, so it helps to the accurate movement. We just walk in a straight line, or we if we're riding a car, if we are riding a bicycle, or if we are driving a car, so we have to go straight. To that, all the this movement and accuracy, balance is controlled by the cerebellum. Okay, so diagram is simple. Brain is having all these parts. Forebrain here in the front. So forebrain can also be called a cerebrum. Most of the brain is covered with this cerebrum. Okay, so here is the hypothalamus, which we will be learning in the same chapter, but in the next lecture. That is the main head, the main part which releases all, which controls all the hormones. And then it's here pituitary gland. Okay, so now forebrain is the main thinking part of the brain, and it also controls many thinking memories. Whatever we think, whatever we take any decisions, that all are taken by the this forebrain or cerebrum. Like when we we receive any sense organs, we receive any signals from our sense organs, like we see something, or we smell something, or we whatever we feel, that is all done by our cerebrum. Any sensory information which is received from the receptors to the brain, it comes to the cerebrum. When we experience anything like pain or happiness, all is done by the cerebrum. Then then the midbrain, which controls the movement of head, neck, etc. to the stimuli whenever there is a change in the stimuli. And then the hindbrain, which consists of cerebellum, pons, and medulla. Then cerebellum help in the maintaining the posture. It helps in maintaining the balance of our body. Then medulla controls and varies the involuntary actions such as heartbeat, breathing, etc. And pons help in the regulation of the respiration. And the last topic is spinal cord. Now spinal cord is a very important part of our central nervous system, which is connected through our brain. Like here you can see here this medulla. Here it connects with the this is a controlling unit which reflexes such as swallowing, coughing, sneezing, and all is controlled by this. So we have a cylindrical structure like this. Is spinal cord will extend in our body, and it is a continuation. This medulla will continue to this medulla will continue to the spinal cord, and this spinal cord is connected with all the nerves of our body which takes the action. So it is also a very main part of our body, which is enclosed in a very protective bone called as the vertebral column. And the spinal cord is also concerned with the reflex action, because whenever we take any quick action, that is controlled by our spinal cord. So it helps in the conduction of our nerve impulses, and which are formed from our brain. So this is a topic which we have done. So please read all these things, because I think it will be it is new for you, so maybe difficult for you. So when you go through the lecture or you have any difficulty, you can just let me know so that I can help you more with this. And please do your question answers. And till then, take care and study hard. Thank you.